Chapter 11. It's November, and the weather is really cold. Harry is going to play in his first Quidditch game on Saturday. Gryffindor versus Slytherin. Harry is lucky that now Hermione is his friend. He couldn't do all his homework without Hermione, because he has to go to his Quidditch practice often. Hermione gives Harry a book about Quidditch. It's a really interesting book. A day before the game, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are walking outside, and Harry is carrying his book about Quidditch. Suddenly, Harry sees Snape. He is limping. When Snape sees three of them, he comes and asks, "What are you carrying, Potter?" Harry shows his book and says, "It's a book about Quidditch." "You can't take library books outside," says Snape. "Give it to me. 5 points off Gryffindor." "He just invented that rule," says Harry angrily, when they are going back to school. "What's wrong with his leg?" "I don't know," says Ron. "I hope it's really hurting him." Gryffindor room is very noisy that evening. Harry and Ron are doing their homework. But Harry cannot focus on his homework because he has a game tomorrow. Now he wants to read a book about Quidditch again. "I want to take my book back," Harry says to Ron and Hermione. Harry sees that they are not going to go with him to Snape. They just say good luck. Harry thinks that Snape is going to give him his book if other teachers are around him. So he goes to the teacher's room and knocks on the door. There is no answer. He knocks again. Maybe Snape left his book in the room. Harry decides to have a look. He opens the door and looks inside. He sees Snape and Filch. Filch is helping Snape with the bandage around his leg. "How can I look at its three heads at once?" says Snape. Harry tries to shut the door quietly, but Potter. Snape looks really angry. He quickly drops his rope and hides his leg. "I just wanted to ask my book back," says Harry. "Get out, out," shouts Snape. Harry leaves before Snape takes any points of Gryffindor. "Did you get your book?" asks Ron when Harry comes back. "What happened?" Harry quietly tells them about Snape and his leg. "Do you understand it?" says Harry. "He tried to go past the dog with three heads during the Halloween," says Harry. "He was going there when we saw him. The dog is protecting something and Snape wants to take it. I bet that Snape left the trolley in school." "I don't think so," says Hermione. "I know he's not very nice, but I think he's not trying to steal something from Dumbledore." "Hermione," says Ron, "do you think that all teachers are good people?" "I agree with Harry. What's he trying to take? What is the dog guarding?" That night, Harry can't sleep. Neville is snoring next to him, but Harry can't stop thinking about Snape. Next morning is sunny and cold. At 11 o'clock, almost all students are around the Quidditch field. Many students have binoculars. Ron and Hermione are with Neville, Seamus, and Dean. They are sitting in the top row. Harry is in the locker room. They are wearing red Quidditch robes, and Slytherin will wear green Quidditch robes. "We didn't have good team for many years," says Wood, "but now we have. We're going to win, I know it." Harry follows Fred and George out of the locker room. He's really nervous. Today, Madame Hooch is refereeing. "I want a nice fair game," says Madame Hooch. "Now get on your broomstick, please." Harry gets on his Nimbus 2000. Madame Hooch blows his whistle and everyone flies. While the game is going on, Hagrid comes and sits down next to Hermione. "I was watching from my house, but it's much better to be in the crowd," says Hagrid. "Is there any sign of the snitch?" "No," says Ron. "Harry doesn't have much to do now. He's just flying around." At that moment, Harry sees the snitch. Slytherin seeker Terence Hicks sees it too. They both fly after the snitch. Harry is faster than Hicks. He's now close to the snitch. Wham! Slytherin Captain Marcus Flint blocks Harry. Harry almost falls off his broomstick. "Foul!" shout all Gryffindors. Madame Hooch speaks to Flint angrily, but now the snitch disappears. Red card, shouts Dean angrily. What are you talking about, Dean? Asks Ron. In football, they give you a red card and you're out of the game, says Dean. But this is not football, Dean, Ron says. I agree with Dean, says Hagrid. They have to change the rules. He almost knocked Harry off his broomstick. The game continues. Harry is looking for the snitch. When Harry is watching the other players, his broomstick moves suddenly. He doesn't understand why. His broomstick moves again, even faster. He tries to control it, but it's now out of his control. No one is looking at Harry because all students are watching other players. Only Hagrid sees him. What is Harry doing? Says Hagrid. He's looking at Harry through his binoculars. It looks like he lost his control. Now, all students are looking at Harry. What's going on? No one knows. Did something happen to Harry's broomstick when Flint blocked him? Seamus asks. No, only a powerful dark wizard can do that, says Hagrid. When Hermione hears it, he quickly takes Hagrid's binoculars and looks at the crowd. I knew it, says Hermione. Snape, look. Ron takes the binoculars. Snape is looking at Harry and he's whispering something in his mouth. He's doing it, says Hermione. What should we do? Asks Ron. I will do something, says Hermione. Before Ron could say another word, Hermione disappears. Ron is now watching Harry through the binoculars. Harry's going to fall down soon, Ron thinks. Come on, Hermione, says Ron. Hermione is running towards Snape. She doesn't even say sorry when she pushes Professor Quirrell down to the ground, because she wants to help Harry quickly. When she reaches Snape, she brings out her wand and whispers a few words. Now Snape's robe is burning. A few seconds later, Snape realizes that his robe is burning and he stops looking at Harry now. Hermione quickly goes away. Now, Harry's broomstick is fine. He's flying toward the ground really fast. After he hits the ground, he brings out something from his mouth. I have the snitch, he shouts. He didn't catch it, he almost ate it, shouts Flint angrily. But it doesn't matter. Gryffindor wins the game. After the game, Harry, Ron, and Hermione goes to Hagrid's house. It was Snape, explains Ron. Hermione and I saw it. He was cursing Harry. Nonsense, says Hagrid. Hagrid doesn't believe them. Why does he want to curse Harry? Harry, Ron, and Hermione look at each other. Harry decides to tell him. I know something about him, says Harry. He tried to go past the dog with 3 heads during Halloween festival. It beat him. We think that he's trying to steal something. Hagrid drops the cups. How do you know about Fluffy? Fluffy, says Harry. Yeah, he's mine. I lent it to Dumbledore. It's guarding. Guarding what? Asks Harry. Don't ask me, says Hagrid. It's top secret. But Snape is trying to steal it, says Harry. Nonsense, says Hagrid. He's a Hogwarts teacher. He's not going to do something like that. So, why did he just try to kill Harry? Asks Hermione. Hermione now agrees with Ron and Harry. I'm telling you, you're wrong, says Hagrid. Now listen to me, all 3 of you. Don't meddle in this secret. It's dangerous. Forget that dog. Forget the package. It's between Professor Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel. Aha, says Harry. So Nicholas Flamel has something to do with it? Hagrid is angry at himself.